You know, a lot of people are moving down to New Mexico in general, and I've been getting asked what cities, what towns, what places are the best places to live for people who are newcomers to the state. And in today's video, I'm going to be guiding you through some of the cities that we have helped people actually move to when it comes down to choosing what works best for newcomers here in the state of New Mexico. So we're going to talk about affordability, we're going to talk about schools, lifestyle, all that stuff. So grab your pen and your pad, guys, and as usual, let's get into today's video. Now we're coming to you live in this video, live from my truck, because it is pretty cold outside. I came to Old Town to film. I got down for a little bit and my hands just froze up. I mean, you can kind of see my knuckles are a little red, and I was just like, the heck with that. I'm gonna film in the truck and we're gonna get this thing done, because we gotta bring this content to you guys, because I wanna make sure that we continue to bring some good information to you guys, because heading into 2025, there's a ton of people hitting us up talking about moving down here, talking about all these new places that we haven't really talked about. We're just gonna briefly touch on them. We ain't gonna go like super in depth, talk about like what roads and what neighborhoods and all that stuff. We're just gonna give you some insight to some of the more popular areas, some of the affordability aspects and all that stuff. But if this is your first time tuning into the Living in Albuquerque channel, welcome. My name is Eli. Go ahead and hit that subscribe and notification bell down at the bottom. That way you guys never miss out on any kind of videos, because we are dropping videos every week. We're talking about what this beautiful state of New Mexico has to offer. Now, as much as we love doing these videos, guys, we would love to also help you out with your real estate needs. And me and my team are ready to help you guys find that place to call home. And that number popping up on the screen is my direct line. I am the one that answers all the calls, texts, and emails. So if you guys are interested in moving down here within the next couple of months, shoot, even this next year, we'd love to hop on a quick Zoom call with you guys just to discuss all the details into matter and give you as much detail as possible to what place is going to work out for you. All right, number one up on this list, of course, it's the obvious. It's my city, Albuquerque, right? This whole premise of this channel. And in Albuquerque, it's a great place for newcomers to come and call home because of a few reasons. Now, one of the top reasons why it's probably one of the better reasons for a newcomer to come and actually experience what New Mexico has to offer is because it's a very diverse city, right? We have easy access to the outdoors, all the city amenities that you could possibly want and need. It's filled with cultural diversity, thriving businesses, and I mean, what else could you want and need when you're moving to a brand new state, right? What a better way to get acclimated and figure out what's your next move if New Mexico is even gonna work out for you guys. So I always highly recommend that Albuquerque be your first stop. What best neighborhoods would I recommend to somebody that's, you know, barely getting a taste of what we have to offer? Now, whether you're looking for like a true city vibe and you just want to be in the middle of the mix and be in the middle of everything and still kind of have that suburban feel, I'm always going to recommend the Northeast. The Northeast is pretty centralized. It's a pretty big area, very diverse style of homes. The average home up there goes for around $350,000, $400,000. And I just got to remind you guys that the homes on that side of town are going to be a little bit older. So some of them may need some updating. You may get lucky and find one that's already move-in ready. That's where we come in and actually help you guys. But if you're looking for something that's a little bit more suburban, newer homes, you're getting that feel of a growing area, then the west side is going to be somewhere that you're going to want to look to. The Northeast has some great schools as well, but the west side has like Volcano Vista, Cibola High School, some private schools on that side like Bosque. So there's a ton of opportunities for those growing families if they want to put their kids in some great programs for education. On average, the house in Albuquerque will run you around $350,000. Now, it's fluctuated from like $320,000 to like even $390,000 within the past year. This past year has been a little crazy, but I can say overall that around that $350,000 mark, you are gonna find a pretty decent house here in the city. Now, there's some lifestyle perks when it comes to living here in Albuquerque, especially around like the fall time, because we have the balloon fiesta, and all year round, we're gonna have those farmers markets, those little pocket markets that come up. Like this weekend is a seasonal Cibola market where Cibola High School hosts a bunch of different pop-up vendors that come through, and they showcase all their stuff right before Thanksgiving, right before Christmas, just to make sure that you can get all your local stuff for the loved ones that you have in mind for gift. Okay, now there's one more thing that I want to touch on to give you guys kind of a tip when it comes to the whole real estate thing. Now, when you are looking for a house, if you are a younger family, you might want to move to the west side because it's a little bit more affordable. You can find a house that is, pretty decent size, 1,400 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 2 baths, within that price range of under 320, especially in places like Ventana Ranch and Taylor Ranch. Those houses are kind of a little bit more on the custom side, and they got larger lots. So if you got kiddos and you want them to run around, that place is gonna be for you guys. Now, if you are a new first-time home buyer, like you've never purchased a house and moving to Albuquerque, buying your first home is actually gonna be here in our city, which we're very honored, thank you. I highly recommend looking maybe like in the southwest side where homes are typically a little bit more affordable, under actually $300,000. If you want a brand new house, the Aspire community up there on 118th Street, you can get a pretty decent house for under that 330 mark, and those are by D.R. Horton. I think Pulte's starting to build up there as well. One place that we hardly ever talk about, and I don't know, I feel like sometimes people aren't really looking to live here unless you're over a certain age group, and we ain't gonna say what age group, but I will say this, that if you are looking to retire in New Mexico, a ton of people are looking into Santa Fe. Now, what does Santa Fe have to offer when it comes in terms of retiring and all that stuff? Well, for one, it's a smaller city than Albuquerque, even though it's our capital, and it's probably one of the oldest cities in the whole United States, believe it or not. But when it comes down to living in Santa Fe, you are gonna find a ton of high-end restaurants, art galleries, high-end homes, custom beautiful homes. I think a couple of movie stars actually live in Santa Fe or have houses in Santa Fe. I know a ton of people that have paid millions of dollars for a beautiful piece of property out there in Santa Fe. So if you are looking for that, you kind of want a more quieter vibe, but you still want the city amenities, even more quieter than what Albuquerque is, Santa Fe is probably going to be an area that we actually help you look into, because if you enjoy like all the art, kind of that New Mexico Southwest style adobe homes and all that, very popular in Santa Fe, guys, very popular. Now, on average, the home price that you can expect to pay out there in Santa Fe is gonna be over $500,000. Now, that's anywhere in the city. And to be honest with you guys, the city is pretty spread out. My dad does a ton of HVAC work out there, and sometimes when I'm calling him to see how he's doing and stuff like that, he gets no cell service, and he lets me know that he is in Santa Fe, somewhere in the mountains. What kind of lifestyle perks can you expect to get when you live in Santa Fe? Well, there's a few. You have like all the Indian markets that they host all the time out there. There's several different like seasonal markets that they will have, kind of similar to Albuquerque. And then you have the Sangre de Cristo Mountains, and then you have Pecos pretty close to you. You can travel up to Espanola, to Taos. It's pretty centrally located in the state, to be honest with you guys, to like all those mountain towns that if you're driving from Albuquerque, it's gonna be like 3 hours, but if you're driving from Santa Fe, it's gonna be, around 2. So you save an hour, which means a whole ton when you're trying to have a day trip, you're trying to go out fishing, rafting, biking, skiing, whatever it is. Whatever the season brings, it's gonna be a lot easier if you live out there in Santa Fe. And plus, your backyard has a ski resort, right? Santa Fe Ski Resort, which is gonna be a little bit better than Albuquerque's, to be honest with you, up in the Sandia Mountains. Okay, now, real estate tip, guys. If you guys aren't retiring, you're possibly wondering like, what will work best for you? Well, to be honest with you guys, some of the condos and some of the townhomes that are in like that older historical district there in the downtown Santa Fe are great places, because you get to enjoy everything that that city has to offer, from the cultural aspect, restaurants, and everything that they do, right? And you're gonna be smack dab in the middle of it. The age group crowd is a little bit older, so it isn't gonna be, too much going on at night. It's, gonna be more of that chill vibe versus down here in Albuquerque, where there's a lot more younger people and the downtown scene is very active. Now, there's one thing that I gotta remind you of living in Santa Fe, along with those real estate tips, that their community is very active in preserving their buildings, their neighborhoods. So if you do plan on living in Santa Fe, just be mindful of where you're planning to live, because some of the places down there get pretty strict when it comes down to modifying your home, modifying the lay of the land, right? Because it's all beautiful, all right? So they get pretty strict. Be aware where you're living, and then we can also help you figure that out when you are, planning to purchase a home over there. All right, we made it to one of the most popular cities to move to in New Mexico here in the year of 2024. Now, Rio Rancho has been getting a ton of attention, guys. And when I say a ton of attention, I mean from everybody. A ton of people hit us up talking about Rio Rancho this, Rio Rancho that, like what is the home prices? And I'm here to tell you that mainly I highly recommend that if you are that first-time home buyer or a younger family, shoot, even if you're a retiree, I guess, just thinking about it now, Rio Rancho is going to be a perfect place for you to live because their population is only about 100,000 people or just a little shy over that. So traffic is going to be minimal. There is going to be less going on over there, so it's going to be a little bit quieter. The Rio Rancho Event Center does have some things going on from time to time, and within the past couple of years, it seems like more popular artists have been holding their concerts out there. So it might bring some traffic from time to time, but it's not going to be like in Albuquerque where it's like expected at 7 a.m. and at 5 p.m. that there always is going to be traffic on the freeways wherever you go. Now, getting back to talking about Rio Rancho, some of the best areas that I highly recommend for people, especially if you're a newcomer, places like Loma, Colorado, which is like a smart living community. They have a swimming pool, a gym, a library, the high school right next to it. There's a ton to offer within that neighborhood, and it's actually built that way because they want a walking distance from everything for their residents there in the Loma, Colorado area. Now, another place is going to be the Enchanted Hills area because the same thing, right? All the conveniences that you could want, restaurants, Home Depots, Walmarts, all that stuff is really going to be that down the street from you guys. Now, down the street from you is going to be the Santa Ana Star Center, which is a casino, but they also have restaurants inside of it, and they also have like bowling, laser tag, and an arcade there for the kiddos. So tons of things to do out there in Rio Rancho, believe it or not. Even though it is a growing city, it is a little bit behind. A lot of people trip out when I tell them that Rio Rancho really didn't become a city until like the late 60s, early 70s. And Albuquerque's been a city for hundreds of years, right? I think yeah, it's pretty crazy just to think about that comparison. And Rio Rancho has always been there, but it's been back in the day before it was actually a city. It was more of like ranches, cattle farms, and all that stuff out there. Now, real estate tip for this area, guys, is that there's a ton of new home developments out there. You got Mountain Hawk Estates, Stonegate, Pulte's building out there, all these different builders like Hakes Brothers as well, which they build, pretty decent products. And then they're from Texas, but they live here now, and they started out, I guess I would call them like a local company now. And then you got like Fellowship Homes building houses out there. And then I know a couple of custom home builders that are actually starting to build one-offs every so often. So if you guys are looking for a one-off home, shoot, this custom home builder that I know out there in Rio Rancho is offering a $15,000 credit towards any buyer right now. So a ton of new home builds out there. So you have a ton to pick from, whether you are looking for a good incentive, you're looking for a good rate, or you're just looking for a certain style of house. All the modern floor plans are going to be out in Rio Rancho. What can you expect to pay for a house out there in Rio Rancho? On average, you can pay under $300,000 for a house. It's on the outskirts of Albuquerque. It's a little bit more suburban, so you can expect to pay less for that house. Now, there's some new subdivisions out there that you can pay over $500,000 for a house, but those houses are pretty legit and pretty big. So maybe we'll do a video on those for you guys. Let me know in the comments if you guys are interested in seeing some of those new home developments, and I'll go and do some for you guys. That way you guys can get a preview of what to expect when you are living out there in Rio Rancho. There's two other cities that I'd like to talk about and just kind of briefly touch on, and that's going to be Las Cruces and Taos. Now, Las Cruces in the south, you can expect to pay $270,000 for a house. Now, who is this city going to be good for? Well, number one, college students who plan on going to NMSU, retirees who want some secondary rental income because of the college students, or you're just a younger family looking for something more affordable and you want to be close to El Paso. You're still young enough that you like to go out and kind of just experience life and just have some fun, right? Because El Paso has a ton to offer. Now, a couple other things that Las Cruces has to offer in terms of lifestyle and a couple of cool perks, right? Being in the south, you're going to be closer to Carlsbad, Caverns, Roswell, and the White Sands Monument, which if you guys have seen Oppenheimer, you guys know exactly what we're talking about. So a couple of cool things that are going down in the South. And if you guys are planning on moving down there, I can almost guarantee that you are gonna find that it is pretty widespread, especially with all the newer developments that are going on down there. And you are gonna be able to find a pretty decent property within your price range. Now, Taos is another great city, a little bit more bougier. I would say even a little bit more bougier than Santa Fe, because we get a ton of people that are actually looking to live where there's not a ton of people, a ton of population, a ton of crowds. And in Taos, you can expect to pay over $400,000 just for the average house. Now, need I mind you that there's not a ton of new developments going on in Taos. There is a ton of older homes. They even got like the Earthships out there. So you are gonna have like a ton of artists, a ton of, movie stars, people who enjoy the outdoors, because you are gonna be right in the middle of the Enchanted Circle. And the Enchanted Circle has a ton to offer with all its little mountain towns: Angel Fire, Red River, Eagle's Nest, Cimarron. You can do virtually any outdoor sport out there in Taos: hunting, fishing, whatever. You are gonna be able to do that. So if you are a big art enthusiast, you enjoy beautiful landscapes, you can afford that higher price tag, Taos may be the place for you. You might want to be mindful because they do get a ton of snow. Their weather is going to be a little bit more inclement than Albuquerque's or Las Cruces, because you're going to be a little bit higher in elevation. You're going to be bordering Colorado, so there is going to be more opportunities for you to experience snowfall. So a good four-wheel drive car, all-wheel drive car, just be aware that they do keep up with the roads and stuff like that, because they already know what to expect, guys. So a couple differences there, guys, whether you're looking for an affordable city or you're looking to live in a place with a ton of mountain towns. Las Cruces or Taos is gonna be able to offer either one for you guys. Alrighty, now just to recap it all, New Mexico offers a ton to newcomers. Now, whether you're looking to live in a place with affordable living, you're looking to live in a place that is family friendly, has easy access to the outdoors, you're an artist and you're looking for that community with, so much inspiring outdoor environments, the people, the architecture, whatever, guys. I'm not too sure exactly what's bringing you to New Mexico, but what I do know is this, that number popping up on the screen is my direct line, and me and my team are ready to help you guys find that place to call home. So if you are interested in moving to any one of these cities, you want to go more into depth to know exactly if one of these cities is going to be a perfect fit for you, feel free to call or text at any time, because we are ready to help. But I gotta head up to a meeting. I gotta meet with our partner Jimmy, who is gonna be helping us out here on the channel with some of you guys that we are finding ourselves to get a little bit busier now heading into 2025. Interest rates are coming down, opportunities are coming up. We're finding ourselves a little bit busier heading into 2025. My gimbal died, so I'm holding the camera by hand. So we'd love to help you guys out. We're gonna go get some coffee. Hope you guys have a great week. We'll catch you guys in the next one.